Hey guys, day 2 has arrived. Welcome to Ignite and Activate Heart and Soul, day 2. First of all, can you hear me? I want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly. We are streaming across 2 platforms and I want to make sure everyone across both platforms can hear. And also, there is a link in the thread for those that weren't on yesterday. If you click on the link in the thread, I'm able to see who's talking to me on the screen up next to my head. At the moment, it just shows up as Facebook user, but if you click on the link in the thread, I should be able to see your name. I've got the iPad here as well, has a backup just in case it doesn't work for you, because it didn't work for some of the girls yesterday. Let me know who's on. Say hi so I know who's here. There's a little delay as well on my end. Hey Candice. Hey Michelle. Oh, kids screaming. Just want to know that you're all on and you can hear me all right. And I've got some frantic kids in the background fighting like gazelles. Yeah, the youngest one is little, but she doesn't play when it comes to the other 2. She's tiny, but if you touch her the wrong way, mess with her the wrong way, that's it. It's good night, game over. How have you all been today? She's only 4, bloody hell. How have you all been today? How has the last few hours been for you? How did you get on with your task from yesterday? Who would like to share? Who would like to share? So how did your task go? Remember I said to anything that triggers you, to be aware of it. Write it down, journal it, voice note it, whatever you had to do. Figure out where it's come from. How did you guys get on with that? Did you have any triggers? Furthermore, some of you may have had a fantastic day and nothing bothered you at all. Let me know. Please share. And for those that wasn't on yesterday, this is a workshop and I want everyone to really join in and, join in. So anything that comes up for you, write it down, share with others, because it will help other people around you. And you might put something up that someone else can help you with. So share, don't be shy. Imagine we're all in a room together, chilling out, lovely sofas, bean bags, giant cushions on the floor, whatever, but we're all vibing and we're all sharing stories. I don't want you to feel like, you just watch and listen. Join in. It's very interactive. I want it to be interactive. Hey, Kels. Oh, great. Peaceful, calm, so chilled at the moment. Nothing's triggered me today. That's brilliant. Feelings of inadequacy. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Amazing. What I never mentioned yesterday as well, obviously we talked about our shadows, negative talk, being in our own way, the resistance. But I never mentioned, we've got Charlene on. Hey, Charlene. She's coming in from YouTube. So we've got a YouTube person. Hooray. Yesterday we couldn't get the YouTubers on. Hey, Emily. Hey, Mum. There's a link in the thread. If you haven't clicked on it already, click on it so I can see who it is next to my head as the writing goes up. Otherwise, I have to look at my iPad to see who's talking because it just says Facebook user. Hey! Yeah, so what I didn't mention is Some of the other things that I find as well that can hold us back is past life stuff that you brought in from your past life trauma, and also ancestral wounds, things that you've held on, well, that your ancestors have passed down to you. This comes up a lot with clients. Like, there's a lot of ancestral stuff going on that needs clearing, a lot of being able to connect with your ancestors in order to do so. So all of those things also can keep us held back, keep us blocked, when we're not really sure why aren't we moving, everything's seemingly fine, but it's actually bigger than you thought. Okay, I didn't mention that, and I thought I'd just slide that in now. But I did want to talk to you about me and my journey. So okay, so there was a time where I felt like I felt a bit inadequate, if you like. You know, I knew I had this gift, didn't really know what to do with it, didn't really like it much. It bothered me, so I kind of just pushed it away and ignored it. And life happens, you know. I had my daughter young. I was 17 when I had her, and I'd always tried my best to be the best person I could possibly be. But I had a lot of thing going on with me with being a young mum and wanting to make sure that I'd done right by her and getting it right, I guess. Just being quite immature and not really knowing much. Thankfully, I had a really supportive mum and family, so we got a lot of help. It wasn't like I was on my own doing it. Years went by, I had another child, a little boy, when I was 24. Had good jobs, everything's seemingly fine, everything's seemingly well, everything's flowing. Like I said, I'd done all these things very young, very quickly, very fast, being in a relationship from a young age. And also for him, it was all very quick, very fast. He was young, just as young as me. And again, life happens. And yeah, I had quite a traumatizing time. About a year after I had my son, I realised that my relationship wasn't as I thought it was, how it seemed. And it broke down, it wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice time. I had lots of things that I had to go through during that time, trust issues. And I couldn't trust anyone, even people like that were my friends at the time, because they knew a lot. They knew stuff that I didn't know, and they never shared things with me. It was infidelity on his part. And when you've gone so long being vulnerable as a young person, kind of putting all your eggs in that basket, being able to trust that person, being able to, I guess I leaned on him quite heavily, even though I was very independent. I had my own stuff going on. But, I kind of thought that was forever. I mean, that might have been quite naive of me, but seemingly from my side, everything seemed perfect. He was good at making out that was the case on my side. And yeah, literally it all broke down, and I felt like betrayed, all the stuff that comes with being in that situation. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that. And I just felt lost, like I said, trust was a huge thing for me. Trust was something that I had to deal with, years before that as well. I had stuff going on where I lost trust in people. And so for me, yeah, my heart was broken, and I guess it was then I started to look into my spiritual side more. I started to navigate, like, why am I here? I've got these beautiful children. At that time I was in a really good job, and, I had, everything seemed well, but then that one thing that was my world just crashed and burned. And I'm just like, okay, I was questioning everything. And I had a lovely neighbour. Well, my mum had a lovely neighbour called Peppy. I don't know if she's on here, but she was very spiritual. And she introduced me to so much. She helped me to understand my gift. She helped me to understand that having what I had wasn't a bad thing. And she kind of showed me how I could use it. We went we went to workshops, we went to psychic circles, we went on retreats together. And it was just what I needed. It was the therapy that I needed. I also took a trip away from my kids. My mum had my children. I went away to Canada to stay with family there. And I felt like it was home when I went to Canada. And, you know, my cousin over there is so spiritual and just got everything. And I was just learning so much, you know. And when I came home, I was kind of ready to go again, ready to just shine and do what I had to do. And that's kind of where I could say that my spiritual journey began. You know, it wasn't perfect. I was learning, and I would do like a few readings here and there, but I didn't trust what I was hearing was correct or was, you know, spirit giving me information. I used to think maybe it's me saying these things, but then I started to recognize that no, because I wouldn't think of something like that. I wouldn't say it in that way. So I started to be able to trust. And the more I trusted, the more my gift got better. And I think I mentioned yesterday, I wouldn't do it. It was something that I kind of done on the side to top up my monthly money. And people would say to me, gosh, Adele, you're really, really good at this. And I was like, yeah, thanks, you know. They'll be like, no, but you're really good at this. You should do it as a full-time thing. And I was like, nah, you know, it's just to top up my money and whatever. And actually the teachers that were teaching me at the time were saying, your gift is phenomenal. It's amazing. You know, one day you will trust and one day you're going to basically totally smash it. They didn't use those words, but that's what they were saying to me. And I was a bit like, thanks, but yeah, nah, it's not where I am, you know. And yeah, over the years I went through other stuff. I had some tragedy, and every time I was in my low place, every time things came and like took the wind out of my sails, it was my spirituality that I turned to. It was meditating. It was trying to understand and connect why my path has gone this way, why I've had to experience these things. But one thing I became really good at was recognizing people in my life and why they were in my life. And even if people came into my life for a little while, I wouldn't take it for granted. I would always see it as, this person's come into my life for a reason. And I would always say, that's happened for a reason. And this has happened for a reason. And they are for a reason. And some people would be like, oh, right, Adele, you're always like, you know, so positive and everything. But that is just how I was. And I am, you know, I try and look for the good in everyone and everything. And I realised that I had to go through what I had to go through to make me stronger, like we discussed yesterday, and to help me along my spiritual path, because maybe if those things didn't happen to me, I wouldn't have bothered, you know. So yeah, I kind of sunk into learning more. But again, I played with it throughout my 20s, played with it, you know, up until I'd say my mid-30s, and then I started to become more serious with it, but still didn't tell anyone. No, I couldn't possibly tell everyone. That's like, you know, couldn't do that. Just wasn't comfortable with it, just didn't want to be judged. And it's actually quite funny because there's a friend that I've got on my Facebook who, you know, when you first get on Facebook, you meet up with lots of old friends from primary school and stuff like this. And she was saying, she put up a post about, give me one thing that you remember about me from school. And I put something up. And then she kind of laughed and she said, oh, I remember when we was about 5 or something, or 6, it must have been older, 5, 6, 7. She said, you said to me that, you know, I was going to die when I was 30. And I was like, oh my God, I don't remember saying that at all. Obviously, she never died, thankfully, when she was 30. But, you know, and people would say to me, oh yeah, you used to do this and you used to do that. But to be totally honest, I don't really remember being in primary school using my gifts at all. But obviously it was there. I was doing something with it, you know. I always had a knowing for things as well. And I could always tell, like, bullshitters, you know. Like, I could tell if you're lying. I could just tell if something's not right. You know, I could feel into the energy of a room and just know I'm not meant to be here. I'm going. And I guess for that reason, I kind of kept out of trouble a lot of my life throughout my teenage years, thankfully. But yeah, so anyway, all the way up into my 30s. And then, yeah, played with it a bit more, got a little bit more serious, done a lot more readings. And then I had my 3 youngest children almost back to back to back. And I feel like with every child, I got more spiritual. I know it sounds strange. I feel like it built something up in me, made me more spiritual. Like meditating to calm down, to center myself. Started becoming interested in things that I was never interested in before, like yoga and stuff like that. I would go to the gym and do yoga. I was never interested in that before, but just stuff. I was just open to so much more things. But it wasn't until I got ill in December 2019, I think it was, where I got diagnosed with PE. So that's clots in my lungs. And I was like, wow, I was in a really good job, doing what I loved. My background is in events, so I loved doing things like that. So the job I had, I was like arranging things and doing things, and, I was hosting, meeting and greeting and all of this type of thing. And I couldn't do my job anymore. I had to let that go because I was too ill. And I was like, okay, back to my little slum. What am I here for? What's going on now? Why have you presented me with this? What's this about? And literally, Spirit was like, you need to do what you're here to do, which is basically help women. You've always done it all your life. You've done it on the sly, just by giving your friends advice, just by being that ear for them, just by being non-judgmental with them. You've always done it all your life, but now's the time for you to use your gifts to help women. So I was like, okay, got down to it, changed everything, diet-wise, started doing a little bit more. Was in lockdown as well. We'd just been put into lockdown. Started doing, exercising at home, bits and pieces, drinking more water, like just really becoming aligned, if you like. And that was it, really. And I really do believe that my spirituality has kind of saved me, because I feel like, basically my clots have it hasn't been totally confirmed, but they've cleared up. I don't get the pains anymore. I can breathe again. I'm going to have another CT soon, so I'll be able to see that it has cleared up. But I feel, you just know your body. I feel that it's cleared it up, and I believe it's because of where I am spiritually. I wasn't thinking about the thing that I had. People would say to me, how are you? How are you getting on? I'd be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm meditating. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm carrying on with my day. If you break your leg, you're not going to just stay in your bed until your leg is ready again, are you? You're going to still have to get up and do the day-to-day things and carry on with life, And that's kind of the attitude that I had. And I found the less that I thought about it, the more better I felt. When I got into the places where I did feel low about it, I felt more sick, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I trained myself to not really think about it and just get on with it. Lots of meditation, lots of healing, just lots and lots of loving light and loving myself and appreciating who I am and why I'm here. And so for me, doing all this, like I'm getting quite emotional, but doing all this really... it just fills my heart. With so much joy, because when you say like you love what you do, I really love what I do in every essence of it. Don't get me wrong, I love my event stuff, and once the world is moving again, we will be doing our event stuff again, but this is my baby. This is my thing that I'll always be doing. I'll even incorporate the event side. Retreats, girls. Retreats. Do big massive retreat events. But yeah, so yeah, I believe that becoming more spiritual, connecting with my guides, connecting with my ancestors, doing all the shadow work. But to be honest, I've done a lot of the shadow work back in my 20s when I had to, But, I continue to improve and continue to look into my shadows when they crop up, if they crop up, which is hardly any, it doesn't really happen anymore. But, yeah, feels really, really good. And so for me, I would say you know, for you girls that are going through stuff, obviously you must be spiritual or embarking on that spiritual journey. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this page listening to me. It's so important to be able to connect with your team. It's so important to be able to connect with your ancestors, because your ancestors help with so much. They help cut ties, you know, family ties that have curses that have kept you held back. You know, some people don't like the ancestor thing. They're like, oh, the ancestors, they put all this stuff on me. The last thing I want to do is connect with them. No, you have to connect with them. When we're up there, we get presented with everything. We get presented with everything that we've left with other people energetically. And only we are able to fix that. They become wise, they become like angels, and they're able to help us. So they're yearning to connect with us. So it's really important to be able to connect with your ancestors and your spiritual team to guide you. They literally guide me to do everything. If I have the slightest question about anything, I just call them in quickly and ask a question and get the answer, and I go by it and I do it. It's literally like that. So for me, it's really important that, you know, that's what you should do. How many of you guys have connected with your spiritual team? Where are you at on your spiritual journey? Please let me read some of the messages. Sorry, I can't read them all on here because I can't see all the names properly, but I've got the iPad here. Okay. Oh, Michelle, you had your daughter at 17 too. Yes. I know a few people that have had kids at 17, actually. I hear you. 100%. Yes, yes. Relationship breakdown in my 20s started off my journey. Yeah, definitely. Beautiful. Thanks, Mum. Everything really does happen for a reason. Sometimes we don't understand why at the time. Precisely. And it's not for us to try and figure out why. Like when people say, well, why is this happening to me? Just know that it's happening to you and just embrace it and just walk on that path. And it will come. You'll realize why. It may take a few days, it may take 6 months, but you will realize why you had to embark on that journey, why you had to experience that trauma or that problem or whatever it was. Hey, Kelly. So amazing. Sorry, my voice was shaking because I don't really share that story with many people. Only my nearest and dearest. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Rona. Gosh, hi, Rona. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you. It's something I would like to do, connecting with my ancestors. I feel like I need to know my past lives going forward. Oh, Carrie's on. Hey, Carrie. I get my messages mainly through numbers still and synchronicities throughout the day. Amazing. And doesn't it, when you're connecting, like even if it's with, because I think Andrula's on, isn't she? You connect with your angels and stuff like that. It's just like, I explain it like it's having a bunch of friends that you can call on no matter what, and they've got all the answers. That's the way I kind of describe it. And it's a comforting feeling, and I feel them there even when I don't need them there. I feel them there all the time. Obviously, when I'm doing my readings and stuff, I call them in for protection and do all the meditation around that. But even if I didn't, I would still know that they're protecting me. You know, I know. One of my main guides, like my gatekeeper guide, my main guide, who's D, he was my brother from a past life. And he shows up so clearly, like in my mind. I know exactly what he looks like. I know his facial features, everything. And when I established who he was, like so much more opened up in terms of my gifts, my spiritual journey. He showed me who I was in that life and what gifts I had and what gifts I've taken from that life and brought into this one. So yeah, like he is just so like he's here now. Like I just know I can trust him all the time with everything, you know. I love that, working on connecting. Candice, I've connected with my guides, angels and ancestors. I connect with my ancestors during womb healing. Yes, I was just going to talk about that in a bit. That was very intense but felt so connected. It really is like you feel sick, you feel drained, you feel like almost like you've been, like I felt like I'd been gut punched when I first done womb healing. Now I kind of like obviously top it up, keep it going, keep it clear all the time because of the work I do. But when I first done it, it was like, oh, this is a lot. Is this right? Have I done something wrong? Like, what have I done to myself? You know, I just felt tired. I felt drained. Just was drinking lots of water, really dehydrated and stuff. But yeah, love womb healing. That's true. I feel that now. Wow, your gifts sound amazing. Thank you, Michelle. My main guide has started to do tingles on my back when he's near. It's good when they can give you a sign, and sometimes for people that makes it more easier. For me, it feels more like, you know, when someone walks into a room, that feeling, you might not be looking at the door, but you feel someone walk into the room. Well, I get that feeling kind of tenfolds. That's the feeling I get, and that's how I know that, because like he never comes on his own. He comes like full crew rolling. So it kind of feels like, oh, okay, they're all here. You know, it feels a bit like that. I've always had spirit come through from a young age, but always used to sound like shouty arguing. But now I'm able to get the messages much more clearly. A recent thing for me is messages through music and sound too. Yes. And spirit, they're beautiful because they show you ways that you're going to get it. You know, some people are like, it just goes over their heads. They find ways that they know that you're going to click and get it. So with some people, it's through music. You know, and you're like, okay, I know you're here because this song's come on, or the words in the song, or whatever, you just kind of know. Or it could be through, I've even heard people like through food. All of a sudden, they've got a craving for something that they want. Then they know their spirit team are trying to connect with them. You know, spirit just have different ways. So there isn't just one way. There's so many different ways that they try and connect. You know, because it's a bit like you walking into the room and no one can see you, and you're doing everything you can to get their attention, and they just can't see you or hear you or anything. How frustrating must that be? So you're going to do all types of stuff to give them signs that you're there, you know. Candy's laughing. Yeah, full crew. Is that what you're laughing at? Yes, womb healing, as Candice was just talking about. It's so important to, like, your womb, your sacral area, all of that is where all the creativity happens. It's where all your ideas come from. And as women, it's so important that we keep track of how our womb is feeling. Literally, like I've got an app on my phone, it's called Flow app, and it keeps track of your periods and stuff, and it tells you how you'd be feeling at certain stages of your cycle. And it's so important. There's so many different stages to our cycle, but the only one that people really know about is the one where you have your period, you know. And there's like three others, sorry. And literally it's like throughout those times in the cycle, you feel a certain way. You're more creative, you're more passionate, you're more like tired, and you need to just shut off from the world. And once you get to know what they all are and how they work for you within your cycle, you kind of know how to be. Like, I know when to bring out a workshop, when's the right time in my cycle to bring out a workshop or bring out a new service and stuff like that. So I kind of work it around my womb patterns. I don't know if anyone else does that. But yes, get on Flow app, and literally it's so informative on there. It really is. I love it. I love it to bits. The other thing that I do as well, which I've been finding that has just, in the last few months, I'm absolutely loving. I'm finding when things are very intense and fuzzy, and you know, when you've been really busy and you've got lots and lots and lots and lots going on, and you just feel like you need to center yourself before you go mad, sort of thing. I'm finding singing bowls and chimes, they are just mwah. I love them. I love my singing bowls. I love my chimes. And it's almost like, how can I explain? It's like putting earphones on without physically putting earphones on. You know, it's like to shut out the noise of everything and everyone's energies. I use my singing bowls, do my singing bowls, I do my chimes, and I just feel the vibration from it. And it literally just makes me go doom. Just centers me back again. Yeah, I really, really find that helps. Emily says has been so many ways through the years. You're right. I've got Flow. It is so handy. Exactly. I need to get Flow. Yes, get on the Flow app, girls, cows. Installing it now. Well done, Soraya. I want the app. I love a singing bowl too. Me too. I love the same bowls too. I've got the Tibetan ones, but I really want to get the crystal one, the big white crystal ones, because I find that they just seem more powerful, from what I can see. And I've got myself I don't even know the name for it yet. It hasn't arrived, but it's one of them big drums. It's a flat drum. Because I've gotten into like chanting and stuff like this. This is something that's going to be coming in the future. But I had the urge to buy a drum and like to do the drum, and I've literally ordered it, so it should be here in a few days. So I can't wait to get my hands on that, because all of these things are things that, all of these things are things that are going to help you on your journey of feeling stuck, or feeling blocked, or feeling like you're in the same situation over and over and over again. Are going to release you, going to help you to release as well. What I found is, on my spiritual journey, I found it easier to release things that no longer served me and didn't feel bad about it. Because when you're meditating and you're in a place of like spiritual enlightenment, you just know that the choices that you're going to make are the right ones, and they're in your best interest. So letting go of people or things, or clearing out. I had a box of dresses that I thought one day I'll be able to fit in these dresses again. One day, I hadn't worn them since probably about 10 years ago, and I was just like holding on to them because they're so nice, and maybe I'd only worn them like once each, and I'm like, when I get that body again, I'm going to wear those dresses again. Literally, I know it's like a really minor thing, but it was a big deal to me. Like, I spent some good money on those dresses and I wanted to wear them again. And yeah, I never lost the weight, but because I've had 3 more kids since then. But I also let go of the dresses because, there was a whole thing of, and what am I holding on to here? Am I holding on to the dresses because I really want to fit in them, or am I holding on to what I feel and think when I see these dresses, to those times? And even though memories are nice, sometimes they can hold you back and keep you stuck. So it's always good to clear out the closet and things that are associated to it. You might be holding on to a pair of shoes because it reminds you of something, but then when you think deeper into that time, that time wasn't really a good time, so it's good to just let go of old stuff, clear out, let go, and try and do a clear out. I'd say maybe every 3 months, like go in your cupboards and your closets and clear things out. I've got this thing of, if you haven't worn something for a year, you're just not going to wear it. Seasons change, your taste changes, you buy new things all the time, you're just not going to wear it, so give it to charity, give it away to friends, family, whatever you got to do, literally. I do have a keepsake box that I keep things from my children growing up and stuff like that, but that's more for them, for when they're older. If they don't want it, then they can chuck it away, but it's away up in the attic and it's not there, but yes, clearing out and all of that stuff helps us to release so much as well. People don't think it does, but it really does. Literally. What have you got here? I want the app. Singing bowl too. I'm loving the sound of Indian flute at the moment. You know what I did? I did stumble across a YouTuber who was playing the Indian flute, and I was a bit mesmerised. I was like, oh, she was doing a good job. I used to go yoga and then did the singing bowls at the end of the session, and it was uplifting and soothing. It so is. Like, I can't explain. It just, I'm sitting there with a smile on my face, like, afterwards. Amazing sounds. Same big white ones is what I want to. Currently have the Tibetan. Surprise, surprise, Twinny, Emily. I think I need to clear out. That's so true, Adele. Yep. Mum, I know you done your clear out yesterday and you said how amazing it was. Clearing out is so therapeutic. Yes, it really and truly is. So, making sure you clear out not only of stuff, but also people. I know this sounds like bad, but it's really not. And it's not a case of you call them and you're like, you know what we had was great, but it's over now. You don't have to do that, okay? I say you just love them from afar, okay? Just little by little, release them, let them go. And you'll find as well, when you're on your spiritual journey, a lot of people drop away. You know, the ones that want to be in your life, the ones that, you know, love being in your energy and want to be around you will be there, you know, and the ones that are like, oh, wow, she's changed, she's different, this isn't right, you know, will go. And you just love them from afar. You check in on them every so often, send them a text message, happy birthdays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, whatever it is, you know, but just love them from afar. And you'll find that just helps so much as well, because what you're doing is you're clearing all that energy so that you're able to bring in, you're able to bring in everything that you need in your life, all the new people, all the new situations, and the new dresses and shoes. So you need to clear it all. It's so important. Okay. Yeah, definitely so important. And also mantras. Okay, so mantras is going to be your task this week as well. I'll tell you about in a bit. But mantras, what I'm finding is mantras are amazing because they're like they're basically affirmations that help uplift you and motivate you. So if you've got a mantra that you like, a personal mantra that you create for yourself, and then you say it every day, and then it becomes a thing. It's like saying like an affirmation, like I am amazing and whatever. It's like saying that, but you're saying it in a mantra, and you kind of choose the words yourself. So that's something that I want you to do for your task tonight. And I want to hear some of these mantras tomorrow as well. And how you would do it is you think of all the things that you're going through now, and you think of the biggest thing that is you. It's something that you want to become. It's either you now or it's something that you want to become, that you're kind of in training for. And that one word, it could be empowering, it could be love, it could be you get what I'm trying to say here. You pick the word and then you create the mantra around the word. Okay, so create your own personal mantras. They're really, really cool. And you can have different ones for different things, just depending on what it is. If you want to do a mantra around work and business, or one around love, one around family, or one around health, whatever it is, you can just like personalize them to you. They've got to make you feel empowered and they've got to make you feel great. And even if you're not in that place yet, you can still say you are, because that's the whole thing. Yeah, you're going to say I am, because that's what an affirmation is. It's the more you say it, the more it goes into your consciousness, and the more that you start to believe that's who you are, and that's who you then become. Okay, so this is my whole thing as well. So when you start believing these things, your vibration changes, your energy changes. You've changed the people around you, you've changed the way you're living at home, maybe food that you're eating and drinks that you're intaking, the way you're looking after your skin or exercising. Your vibration changes. You then kind of mold yourself into the person that you're trying to be. So I always say, when you're in meditation, you try and connect with your higher self, okay? Because your higher self is perfect, okay? It's who you want to be. It's who you want to become. She's full of grace. She's full of confidence. She's full of all the things that we're all yearning to become, okay? So connect with her. And in any situation, and this is what I do, where you're not sure what you should do or how you should act, you ask yourself, how would your higher self act in this situation? And you act like that. You become that. And let me tell you, the more you become that, the more you become her. I never used to wear makeup. You know, I used to wear it when I used to work in the city, but the only time I put makeup on is if I was going out partying. Never wear makeup. Never wear lipstick. Definitely not. It'd only just be lip balm, even when I'm wearing makeup. Definitely never wear head things like this in my hair, head wraps and stuff. And I found that over the year, I started wanting to put on makeup. I started wanting to put on lipstick. I started wanting to have lashes. I started wanting to wrap my hair, you know. I felt that the stronger that my gift became, I felt like I needed to wrap my hair. I found at first it was, I would only wrap my hair when I was doing a reading. Like, as soon as I knew I was going to do a reading, I'd wrap my hair. It was just like an instinct in me. And when I connect with my ancestors, they said, because you're protecting your crown. Okay, because of all the information coming in, you're just protecting it. But now it's part of me. This is me. The lipstick, like, I've got all different colours now. You know, and I'm realising I'm turning into someone different. And, you know, even my mum says to me, Adele, I know it's you, obviously, but you look so different. And I can't put my finger on what it is, you know. Just maybe my energy's changed more. I carry myself differently. Everything. But as a result of that, I then fall into alignment with all the things that I'm trying to attract in my world, you know. So with my business, I revamped my business at the end of the year. And thank goodness I done that, because it made me fall into alignment with what I wanted to attract. I had to go deeper in my business, because before I was more like, you know, interested in sort of the crystal side and the angel side, which is all amazing. And I think it's important to know everything in Christianity anyway, spirituality anyway. But my spirit guides were like, you need to go deeper. You need to work on a soul level. You've got a lot of stuff there that you're able to work on, and we need you to go that far. And I was a bit reluctant, you know, but really, do I have to? And then they started making things appealing to me, like certain colours, because I had to change my branding. I was like, but I like the colours I had on my other brand, and it was like a breath of fresh air. And they said, well, no, you need to go deeper than that. Your colours need to change. Everything needs to change. You need like reds and blues. And I was like, oh no, it's not what I vibe with, you know. But over time, what I found was things that never appealed to me started to appeal to me. And I think I've told this story before. I went into Dunelm or somewhere, and I saw a duvet set that was like a forest green. I would never find that forest green duvet set appealing, ever. That was just not the colours that I go for. And where I have like mustard in my room and grey, I have grey all over the place, but mustard, when I brought it home and I put it on the bed, I was like, oh my gosh, it really drops well with the mustard. I've got mustard cushions and all of that. And then the mustard almost stood out as a gold to me. So then I was like, these are the colours. I need this forest green, I need golds, but I still need a bit of lightness. I still need white or cream or something like that. So what you find, even in your business, this is why, like, when you connect with your team, they're guiding you, and they're guiding you in a way that is for your own best interest. So something that never appealed to me before, all of a sudden, I was like, wow, yeah, I love it. And I really love my branding. Even, you know, like just the pictures and stuff that I use, you can see they're really deep. They're really, they reflect me. They reflect who I am, you know, and I love everything about my branding now. Whereas before it was more airy. It was like, it was lovely, but it was more about the sea and stuff like this. But now it's like deep. It's deep. And I love it. And I love all the colours associated to it now. When I'm out shopping around and doing things, I will pick up things in those colours. I would never before, you know. Even like the colour of this and stuff. Never have gone for something like this before, you know. So it's amazing what spirit do. Let me read some of these messages. Can any of you guys relate to that? Like, having spirit guide you in terms of your business, or you know, something that needs to be changed and you don't want to change it, but they kind of, I don't even know, it just kind of felt like it happened overnight. Things that didn't appeal to me all of a sudden appealed to me, you know, like, yeah, I really like that, you know. Let me know your stories. Clearing out. Use my singing bowl to cleanse my space. Yes, that's a really good way as well. I know that some people don't like using sage because they feel like they're being choked out. So you can use your singing bowls to cleanse and clear your space. I also use, I think it's a bit of a Caribbean thing. I know it's kind of a big deal in America. Florida water. Let me know if anyone knows about Florida water. Literally, it was my auntie that told me about it, because she's a therapist and she uses it in her therapy circles and that. And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. And it looks green. It's like a bright green liquid. And yeah, like I've got it in a spritzer bottle. And if I can't get to my sage, I use that. So I could have some in my handbag. So when I'm out and about and I'm not feeling the energy, I can just spritz. You know, you can also use it to clean things with. You can spray it on yourself. It smells really quite vibrant and refreshing as well. Let me know if you know about Florida water. I got mine on eBay. I think you can get like 4 bottles really cheap as well on eBay. I know it's not normal how similar we are. I know, Emily. We'll figure out why. We'll figure out why soon enough, I'm sure. That's it. Love them from afar. Hazel, I'm not understanding what you're saying. That's it. Love them from afar. Oh, yes. Love them from... I'm saying afar, like it's a place. Love them from afar. Exactly. I've started clearing my group too, refreshing the energy. Yes, that's so important. And I've done that on my normal Facebook page. I've done a clear out about a month or so ago. And it wasn't to clear anyone out like that, but if I didn't feel like I was aligned with them or I've never really connected with them, then I took them off my page. And don't get me wrong, there was people that I hadn't connected with, but for some reason I felt like they needed to be on my page, so I kept them there. But yes, I think it's really important to clear out your groups, do a group clear out. You need to be in a place where your groups are interactive. If your groups are just there and you're putting up posts and they're not saying anything, it's not reaching them. So you need to clear it out. You need to revamp. You need to bring in an audience that it's going to reach, so that your information and your purpose and all the things that you're putting in your group can get to the people and help them. That's the whole point. I never understand that you're going to be in a group but you don't interact in it. You need to be interactive in the group, and especially like in groups like this, spiritual groups, they're like, for the women, they're like sisterhoods. They're the places where we can all come together, ask each other advice and stuff on, in regards to our spiritual journeys and stuff like that. So it's important that it's interactive and the energy in there is moving, because the more the energy moves, the more it builds up, the more it brings in. Yeah, so it's really, really important to give your page and your group a good clear out. Yes, that was hard, but so necessary. I've been thinking about this too, Andrula. I think it's time. Yes, Emily, it's time. Emily, definitely worth doing. Yes, I started the mantra journal. Well done. Well done. Novlet, yes. Oh, wow. I remember saying to do this, connect with your higher self. I need to do this more. Literally, you always think, what is my higher self going to do in this situation? And you do that, because she's you. She's part of you, and that's where you're trying to get to. Okay. Yes, love Florida water. Okay, so you know about Florida water, Kels. I love it. I love the smell of it. Yeah, and it's a good, like, if you don't like sage, just spritz some Florida water. Never heard of it. Look it up on eBay. I haven't drank alcohol since December not for any reason. It just doesn't appeal to me at the moment. Yes, I found that as well, especially during the summer. I found that it just wasn't appealing to me. Even though social situations, and I had this thing about drinking elderflower with fizzy water, and that was kind of my thing. I would even have it in like a gin glass to make it feel like I'm being sociable and stuff like that. But yeah, so definitely understand that's all part of the journey. You're not going to want those things that you used to want. You prefer to drink the water or like other substitutes or whatever. But alcohol, because it's a depressant, so it slows you down and it makes you feel like, you know, it gives you thoughts that you shouldn't really have. Not for everyone, but for a lot of people. So it's not good. It's no good. It's toxic for your body. So it's, you know, I'm not saying it's bad to drink, because I still like to have a drink, but, you know, don't overdo it. You know, drink plenty of water. And for people like us that are bringing in spirit and working with people, we've got to be clear in our minds. So we can't be full of alcohol for that. We have to be clear in our minds and be able to give the wisdom and the messages clearly. So yeah, what I found though is when I was in my 20s, before I started to embrace this gift, when I had a drink, I saw everything, and I would talk with people, and I'd be telling them all types of stuff about themselves, and they'll be like, how do you know that? No one doesn't know that, blah, 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 blah. Like, I found that it really did enhance my gifts, but I've since learned that it's not the best way to give information when you're under the influence, just because, you know, you've got to be clear of where you're getting the information from. Okay, so yeah, drink plenty of water. So it's totally understandable why you've been off the alcohol. I found Florida water in the hair shops. Yep, you can get them in there. It's so important that you talk to each other. Yes, it is. I've just learnt about Florida water. There you go. Go and get yourself some Florida water. But yes, I can't remember where I was now. What was I even talking about? Yes, so magnetizing, falling into alignment, magnetizing, so that you're able to bring in all the good stuff that you want. So we sit and we write things, we write our intentions, we do our moon intentions, we do all these things, but we have to be vibrating at the right frequency to receive it. When it comes to love, when it comes to money, when it comes to business, we have to be vibrating at the right frequency. It's not going to just land on our laps because we've written it down in an intention. Okay, so it's so important to feel aligned. And you just know when you feel aligned, because everything just kind of drops into place, you know, and it feels good. And the road that you're walking on feels good. It feels like, yes, 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 I know that every step I'm taking is the right step. You don't question anything, you know. That's how you kind of know. Well, that's how I know. Let me know how you guys kind of know when you're in alignment with something. Let me know in the comments. And literally, all the opportunities come, you know, the love interests come in. You're able to as well express yourself to someone that maybe you've been watching for a while and you never had the guts to do it. You get into this place of your ego isn't taking you over anymore. No, I like that person. I'm going to go and approach that person. And you do it. And you do it with all the passion and the confidence and everything else, because you just know that either way, at least you tried, you know. And most of the time, you know, people get it right. So, you know, in terms of love interests and stuff like that, it's definitely worth just going for it. You get to that place when you start moving forward, when you start falling into alignment, the confidence grows, everything happens. You don't look at other people's, you know, social media and what they're doing. You just don't. I don't look at other people's social media like that to compare myself. You know, when I see someone doing great, I will say, oh, amazing. I'll put a comment, whatever, whatever. You know, I love to see other people doing amazing. And I love to be in those circles. If you're in the circles of the people doing great stuff, that can only mean one thing, right? You're going to do great stuff too. So stop comparing. Well, you will stop comparing when you get to this place of spiritual enlightenment, where you feel like you're just bringing it all in, when you're in a place where everything is more clear, you're getting your answers through, you know, everything just, you're molding into your higher self. You start vibrating at the frequency that you're wanting. You know, just all the opportunities start dropping in. You know, the money starts building up in the bank. And even with that, money is energy. It's flow. You've got to let it flow. You've got to let that energy flow. So you might get all this money flow in. You don't hold it for dear life. You let it flow out again. Pay your bills and pay them with love. You know, be thankful you're in the position to pay your bills. Don't say, oh, but I've only got 150 and the bill's £100. That means I'm only going to have 50 quid left. You say, okay, I'm going to let it out because I know that it's going to come back in because my money energy is flowing, you know. And that's what happens. I find that when I pay something out, buy something, pay a bill, all of a sudden money drops in from a client or whatever. So I've got the flow, the in and out flow. I didn't always have that, believe. I didn't always have that, you know, but it comes with growth. It comes when you're in a place where you trust, you know, you trust your team, you trust what they're telling you to do, the moves they're telling you to make, you trust. And that's all I do. I'm like guided by them so much that I know that it must be right, because all the things that I want to happen is happening. Okay, so that's really important, that you trust. I feel the flow and confidence with what I'm doing. I know I'm aligned, and there's so much ease. When there's so much ease, exactly, ease in conversations, ease in confidence, actions and opportunities. Exactly, everything just falls into alignment. And then you get the little angel signs with the numbers and stuff like this. They drop in from time to time as well, just to confirm that you're in alignment, you know. So yeah, all amazing. But do you have any questions for me, darlings, as we wrap for our second day? Any questions? Anything that you want to share? So, like I said, tonight's task is to write your own personal mantra. Okay? Find the word that expresses who you are. It could be around anything. It could be around health, money, love, whatever you want it to be about. Family, whatever you want it to be about. And that will be your little mini mantra that you can say to yourself every single day. Okay? I get feathers. Yep, exactly. Feathers when you're in alignment from the angels. Same time tomorrow? No. We're going to be a little earlier tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be 6 o'clock, just because it's Sunday and I want to sort the kids out and get them ready to go to bed for school and stuff. So 6 o'clock tomorrow. Let me know that's okay for you guys. If you can't watch it, then we'll be on replay anyway, so you won't miss anything. But it's been another amazing session. That's gone really fast. I feel like it's gone fast. But thank you all for coming. We've had 11 on. Amazing. Thank you all for coming. And yes, I guess I'll see you tomorrow for the last day. For the last day tomorrow. Be amazing. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to whiz off and let you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday evenings. Take care, guys. Love.